Okay, they say that cruising is just maintaining your boat in exotic locations. We're in a pretty exotic location here at Peel Island, and it's time to do a little bit of maintenance. I've just noticed under the brow here a lot of dark looking, probably mould, I think. So what I've done, I've just mixed up some white vinegar and water, and I'm just going to go along and try and eradicate it. Mould on the boat's always a problem. You know, it seems to get going everywhere, so not sure if it's mould or just dust, but it's pretty dirty looking. And people quite often say to me, what do you do all day? Always a bit to do. It comes off pretty easy, and hopefully the vinegar kills the spores, so it won't come back. We'll just see what happens. Well, that's a job well done. Took about an hour. Did all under the brow, so it's all good. Time to sit down and have a cup of tea now. Another great morning for cruising. We just up anchored at Peel Island. We've had 2 beautiful days there. We're heading over to Manley to the Marina. I'm going over to pick up Pip. She's been babysitting another little dog for a while, so I'm going to go and pick Pip up. I missed her a bit for a couple of nights, but she'll come back on board today. I'll give the boat a wash, do a little bit of resupplying. I don't need too much, but a few little items I've got to get, so I can do some shopping there. I'll do some washing, and then we'll head out again. And we're looking at getting to our first seminar next week, and the numbers look good, very promising. There's quite a few people interested in attending, so that's great. End of a beautiful day. Had a great trip across Moreton Bay this morning, and we've picked up a pen in the Marina here at Manley. Great Marina. We'll only be here for the night and then head out again tomorrow. Been up and done some shopping. I've washed the hulls, given a bit of a wash and a wax, bit of the stain off, and yeah, the boat's looking pretty schmicko again, so heading up to the Moreton Bay Trailer Boat Club for dinner tonight with a couple of friends, so it should be good. Well, it's another gorgeous day. I've just been up to the Marina office and got the deposit back on my key. Got a few supplies from the chemist, and we're ready to go. So I'm just going to start the motors now and drop the lines, and we'll head out of the Marina. Looks like being a light wind for another couple of days, so we'll poke our nose out and find where we're going to anchor for the night. I'm not really sure where we're going yet, but maybe out to St Helena or maybe up the river. We'll just work it out. Anyway, another great day to be cruising. We're up early this morning. We're going to sneak over and have a look at the penal settlement over here before all the tours come over, so going to be another cheeky one. But we had a pretty good night. It calmed right off about the middle of the night, so it was quite pleasant after 12 o'clock. Anyway, we'll sneak over and have a look over there and then come back for some brekkie. Well, we've gone from the lazarette or leprosarium at Peel Island in the last episode to the penal colony on St Helena in this episode. All places where you really wouldn't want to have stayed in the day. Once again, this is an area that I shouldn't be in, but I've come in to take a little bit of video, and I'd encourage people, if they want to have a good look around here, I think there's a tour that lasts about 5 hours and it'll tell you all about this historic site. But I'm just going to sneak around early in the morning and shoot a bit of footage for you. Once again, no plaques, but I would say that this was some sort of machinery house. Maybe there was a generator installed in here to give them light. I don't think there's any, well, I'm sure there's no power that runs across from the mainland, so I guess all their electricity would have to be generated in-house. And there were quite a few workshops. Apparently it was a model prison and they were trying to rehabilitate men, and they had a lot of workshops teaching woodworking, leatherwork and other skills like that. So not all bad, but a pretty harsh place to live, I'd say. I'm only guessing here as well, but I'd say that this was probably some sort of workshop. Looks like it's been roofed at some stage, and I'd say this is probably where the workshops were located. Only guessing again, but this is obviously a galley or kitchen area, and probably a dining area as well. There's a well just out the back, so they had water, and there's ovens and fireplaces here for cooking stuff, so I guess this is where the food was prepared and men ate. Well, this would be the commandant's quarters, I'd imagine. So this would be a little laundry or galley off to one side. And I think the staff lived a lot better than the convicts back in the day. But pretty comfy sort of a house. With a great view. Looks right out over Moreton Bay. So, yeah, I think you'd be better off being the commandant than you would be one of the prisoners. I'm going to call this a misguided tour of St Helena. I'm not sure. I'm not supposed to be here. Neither is Pip. but I've come up and filmed it for you guys on my channel. I probably could get into trouble, but been in trouble before. Look, it would pay you to come up and do this tour. Once again, there's no plaques or interpretive boards here, so you really don't know the story of the place, and it really would pay to jump on the cat o' nine tails and come across here on the ferry trip and spend about 5 hours, I think the tour goes for. So I think that'd be pretty good value, and you'd learn an awful lot about this old penal colony. Anyway, Normie's Misguided Tours. One of the things I love about being out here is you're breathing very clean air. We're just off Brisbane and it's still morning, and check out the smog. To me that looks nearly as bad as what it was in LA. And I guess you don't realise it when you're living over there, but you're breathing all that rubbish too. I like the clean air out here. Pretty soon we're heading past the port of Brisbane and up the Brisbane River. And then it's under the Gateway Bridge and further upriver to Bulimba. Well, we've just anchored off the Brisbane Sailing Club in Bulimba. It's on Bulimba Point actually. Not a bad spot. There's a couple of boat ramps you can sort of drag the dinghy up and lock them up. This morning we're going to head over to the New Farm side of the river opposite Bulimba. There's a pontoon over there and it's low tide at the moment, so it's a little bit of a struggle getting the dinghy up the boat ramp at the Sailing Club at Bulimba. So I can just go over to the pontoon at New Farm and tie the dinghy up, which makes it a bit easier at low tide. We'll go over and have a look at that, and new Mercedes, I don't know, must be head office or a big dealership over there, so looks pretty impressive from the river, but we'll go over and check it out. This is Breakfast Creek behind me. We're just going to walk up and have a look at some of the new development up here. This is a pretty inner city suburb of Brisbane, so we're pretty close to the centre of Brisbane here at Breakfast Creek. Wow, well, this is all pretty new. Wasn't here the last time I was up the river. It's a brand new Mercedes-Benz dealership in Brisbane. Looks like there's about 5 stories of luxury cars. So it's a pretty impressive building with the big logo spinning around on the top. One thing I've noticed too is another new building just here. "100 metres down the road there's a new Bunnings as well. So very handy for boaties. If you're getting something from Bunnings, sometimes they're a long walk away. You can come to the Newstead pontoon, tie your dinghy up, and you've got really good access to a mega hardware store. So I guess progress is good sometimes for boaties. Some beautiful cars and fantastic new showroom. It's only been open for 2 weeks, and even you're allowed to bring Pip in, so pretty good, eh? I'm at the Brekkie Creek pub. It's a bit of an institution. Great spot to have a beer. The beer is always great, and really good steaks. So it's a bit of an icon in Brisbane, the Brekkie Creek pub. A bit early for a beer, so I've stopped here. They've got a good little coffee shop here, so I've stopped here for a coffee. Having a good look around the big smoke today. Well, it was a pretty good morning exploring over at New Farm, the old and the new, the old pub and the new Mercedes dealership. But we're just going to head back to the boat now. We're just waiting for the tide to turn, and we'll head back down the river. Beautiful day here in sunny Queensland though. Great day to be out in the boat and in the river.